Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Freelanceverse. We seem to be live. Yeah, two people are already here. Thanks so much for waiting and being here on time. I appreciate it a lot. It's time for another Q&A on the channel. As always, every second time I do it in a live stream fashion. Let me just adjust the camera a bit. Yeah, it's time for the last Q&A definitely, and also the last live stream on the Freelanceverse for 2024. So I thought we can just come together, hang out. If you have some questions, I'm here to answer. I have my Christmassy tea here. And I have some questions prepared, of course, as always. If you are in the chat or if you are listening, please let me know if everything sounds good. If you can hear me, just give a thumbs up or write something in the chat so I know that everything is well. I assume people will be coming in shortly. We are 4 at the moment. Mario is here. Hello. Sounds great. Mohammed is here. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Where are you guys watching from? Well, Mario, I know, but Mohammed, where are you watching from? Glad that you're all here. Yes, I have some questions prepared. So without further ado, I will go straight into them. Costa Rica, exactly. The master touches here from Somalia. Wow, okay. Interesting. You're probably one of very few of my viewers from Somalia. That's cool. It never shows up on the list at the end of the year, you know, when I see where people are watching from. Master touches from Nigeria. I have some Nigerian watchers or viewers, definitely. So from all over the world, this is amazing. I guess depending on where you're watching from, it's middle of the night or during the day. For me, it's end of the working day. I just finished my day, so I'm happy to come on here and chat with you and hang out a bit. If you have questions, just make sure to ask them in the chat. Always let me know where you're watching from, what's on your mind, how is your translation career going, what are you working on. I'm very happy to get into that. Otherwise, I will just take some questions from the last Q&A that was now like 6 weeks ago, I think. It's not exactly 8 weeks like it usually is, simply because how the year is coming to an end. You know, it's always the last video of the year is my year-end review video that I've been doing now. It's going to be the 5th year already. Is it already the 5th end of the year that I'm doing on YouTube? Probably, yeah, that's crazy. But I always kind of recap what has happened, how my business has been evolving, how it has been doing. And so this spot was already taken, and next week's video is ready already. So the last spot for a Q&A was today. I will keep an eye on the chat, but I will start off with a very friendly message I got in the last Q&A. There was not really, I mean, there were a couple of questions in there, but it wasn't like a direct question that someone had, you know, but I'm just going to pick out a few things. It was actually from Aminau MMA, and I answered his or her question in that Q&A, and he was very happy, or she was very happy that I answered the question. Then they wrote, I also read that it can be a good idea to reach out to the same company multiple times, even through LinkedIn. You can find a project manager. I contacted one of my agencies twice, and that's when I only got a response. Another advisor, I've forgotten her name, mentioned that it can take 2 to 6 follow-ups to get a reply from agencies because they're very busy. I really noticed a huge difference when I'm reaching out the second time. That's such a good insight that is said not often enough. I feel like a lot of people rely on just signing up through the online form at an agency and then hope that something will happen. It's very, very unlikely, right? The way that you get into an agency's pool doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean that you will get jobs. It needs to be personal, right? Of course, you need to sign up through the online form if they have one, but I would never sign up on a form without having a contact, without having a first interaction with them. So what Abhinav did was first filled in the online form and then did a follow-up, reached out again, went on LinkedIn, looked for a project manager, and then actually got into the pool. So, and they write down whoever you reached out to, and then different columns with follow-up 1, 2, 3, and you can really track when you followed up with them. Yeah, that's definitely. And they also say they talked to other Swedish translators on LinkedIn, and you're absolutely right. That gave me so much. I have a huge network now and reached out to maybe 100 translators, and almost everyone answered me and gave me a lot of advice and support. One even gave me contact details to a manager she had worked with. That's incredible. So that's so good to hear, that what I'm trying to communicate on the channel seems to actually be working, right? If someone puts in the work. So that's so good to hear. So thank you very much for that feedback. Is there a question? It's a very long comment, so I'm not going to read all, but I think there is a question at the end. I received a job offer today from a client I reached out to on Pros, but the rate was extremely low, 0.02, so 2 cents to US dollar cents per word. Although taking it might have provided some experience, I felt that the pay was unfairly low. I also don't want to contribute to driving down the rates for other translators. You're doing everything right. There's nothing I can add to that. Even if I could afford to accept it at the moment, do you think this is the right way to think, or do you think it is worth it to get experience? It's a fine line. What you are saying is exactly right, right? That's the officially correct answer. You should not accept it. It's contributing to the problem with bottom feeders. Paying 2 cents per word is ridiculous. That is below average, below minimum wage in most countries. You should not do that. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the effort. You don't have time to provide a good quality translation for that price. So all you said was correct. Then there is the other side of the coin when people are really struggling and just have no work, no income. I fully understand if someone has to take that job, which is sad. It's bad for them. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for the client. Even if they think they get a deal, it's just simply not possible to have good quality for that price. You did the right thing. As long as you can really, you say you could have afforded to accept it. I understand. I fully do. You did the right thing. So let's hope that the next one will be a better offer. And make sure to rate them everywhere. Say that they are bad, like very low pay. Not publicly, don't blast them somewhere with their names. But if you see review boards like the Pros Blue Board or Glassdoor or something, definitely make a review if you can. Mohammed wrote something. Wow, we had 12 people. Nice. Or what? Oh, it's fluctuating very much. It just went down to 8, 7. Okay. Well, I'm glad for everyone who's here. Can someone have a Pros agency account at the same time? At the same time as a Pros translation account? Will you advise someone who is a seasonal translator like to form an online agency? Can someone have a Pros agency account? I'm not aware that. Oh, you mean like yeah, okay, I know what you mean. Yes, you definitely can have a professional page on Pros and also a private one. Yeah, definitely. You can even link them probably, like you can say that in your work experience, you can say that you are the owner of this and this agency, but you're still working as an individual translator as well. For sure, you can do that. No problem. Will you advise someone who is a seasonal translator to form an agency? Not necessarily. That seems to be. Hello, Laura. Thanks for being here. It seems to be kind of the next logical step when you are growing as a translator. You feel like, oh, how can I grow more? What is the next step? Oh, I'm turning into an agency. But you have to be aware that that's a completely different game, right? You are suddenly not a translator anymore. You are then an agency owner. And when I talked to Robert Gebhardt, who has the YouTube channel Freelance Translator Tips, he's still uploading sometimes, even though he says he retired the channel, but I still see videos popping up here and there. He has an agency and he says he doesn't do translation anymore, right? So it's a completely different job. So I don't recommend seasonal translators who really enjoy what they're doing to become an agency owner, because it's a different job. But if you want to do that, of course, feel free to do it. It's not for me. I do work with other translators. By the way, I'm really bothered that this painting is not there anymore. Sorry for that. It came down and it broke. That's why there's an empty spot. I just noticed it now. So I do commission people to work for me to do translations or subtitling for me, and then I review it, and I send it to the client. So in a way, that is the typical agency workflow, right? But I would not say that I'm an agency. So you don't have to think just because you suddenly outsource something, suddenly you collaborate with someone, that makes you an agency. It doesn't. You can still do that without having an agency name. I still deliver this job then in my name, because I am responsible. If I work with someone, I need to review, I need to make sure the quality is there. I delivered it in my name. That doesn't make me an agency. So it's really up to you. Of course, you can scale your business significantly if you turn into an agency, because then you are not bound to your limitations of your actual working hours, because you have maybe, I don't know how many translators Robert has working for him, but I can assume many around the globe, right? And then they all have kind of 8 hours a day, and not only you. Of course, then in the end, you make less on the actual job because you are the middleman or the middlewoman. But it frees up, or it's possible to scale up much more than individually working as a translator. There are other ways to scale or to generate passive income as an individual translator, and that is actually what next Monday's video is about. So make sure to tune in for that if you want to learn about all the different passive income streams that I set up for myself. I prepared a video for that, so that's going to be next Monday, the last normal type of video. Mario says, university students watch your videos and we encourage the application of the tips you give us. It's great real life work advice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. And so thank you for your work. Thank you for your comment and for your kind words. It really means a lot. And I mean, the fact that it reaches university students in Costa Rica is like beyond my expectation. It's crazy. And the cool thing about the profession is that theoretically it should work everywhere, right? What the comment that I just read to you is from a Swedish translator. Now, of course, Sweden is closer to me than Costa Rica or Somalia is, and I understand that there are very different frameworks when you are on a different continent. But the theoretical idea should work everywhere, right? And then you just have to adapt it to your cultures, to your surroundings. Andrew, hey Adrian. Hello, Andrew. Thanks for being here. Lizzie from the block, love the name. Hi, I'm a year 2 translation student in Hong Kong. Wow, it's getting more and more international. It's crazy. I'm trying to build my CV as a translator, though more specifically as a subtitler. Any advice on what project I can start or general directions? Oh, and how useful is a master degree in translation career-wise? Your vids are very informative, by the way. Love them. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for the compliment. So a translation degree is extremely important career-wise, right? Or let's not say important, it is extremely valuable. You can make it without, definitely, but if you have one, that is gonna like put you ahead of the 75% of the competition, right? So that's even it does not necessarily qualify you to be the best translator in the application process, but it definitely qualifies you, or it definitely puts you ahead of most people that don't have a degree. Especially in Europe, a lot of agencies or a lot of clients are ISO certified, so the International Standard Organization. So they are obliged to work with translators who have either a university degree or at least 5 years of experience, I think it is, yeah. And when you don't have a degree, you will also most likely not have 5 years of experience, right? So it's really not really an option. Like if you want to start out, you kind of need a degree. I know in the US it's much less important, I'd say, than in Europe. I don't know. Oh, you're in Hong Kong, so I don't know anything about the Hong Kong market, unfortunately. But if it's anything like here, then it definitely puts you ahead of the competition if you have a degree. And you are saying you're studying, right? Translation student, yeah. So definitely try to finish your degree and try to work on your portfolio while you're still studying. It seems like you are doing that. You are asking. So you want to build a CV. I would rather say build a portfolio than a CV. A CV is very much, I mean, it depends what you want to do later on. If you want to work in-house or if you want to be employed, then you need a CV, of course. But if you want to establish yourself as an independent contractor, as a freelancer, sole proprietorship, whatever it's called in your country, you rather need a portfolio than a CV, because you don't really want to become, you don't really even want to enter in this dependency of an employer hiring you, right? That's not what's happening here. You are a service provider that provides a service to another company, either another service provider or an end client. So I don't ever use my CV, for example. I know that agencies ask for CVs, and so I would, like, you can have just, in Europe we have the Europass, which is just kind of a standardized European CV that I upload, but then I make sure in additional documentation I add my marketing material, my portfolio, my flyers, whatever I have at the moment that is specifically tailored to this client. And that gives you way better chances than a CV, because let's be honest, no one reads CVs. So I would suggest, so if you want to build a portfolio as a subtitler, I think YouTube is a great resource for that. You can literally just subtitle YouTube videos that you like, and make sure that either you reach out to the creator, you can tell them, you know what, I'm trying to build a portfolio as a translator in whatever language you want to do, right? So I subtitled your videos. If you want to use it, feel free to use it. I send it attached. Please credit me if you do use it. That's usually normal. And then you can also ask if it's okay that you use this in a portfolio. Because it's publicly available. Like there's a fine line in the copyright there, right? Because technically it's publicly available information, but of course it's still there. Oh, the lamp just turned on there in the background. Of course, it's still their content, so you have to be careful not to just use any content that is not yours and then put it in your portfolio. So I would always reach out to someone. So don't reach out to the biggest creators on the platform, but reach out to smaller people. And otherwise, content that is not licensed, you can always subtitle and put into your portfolio, right? Mario says exactly to something I said, I guess. So if I forgot. Mohammed, I'm a huge follower for your channel. I also follow you on LinkedIn. No video has missed me so far. Okay, no video has missed you. So you've seen all the videos, but there were definitely videos that missed the mark, that were not good quality. So I'm very well aware of that. But that's actually an important thing that I set out for myself when I started this channel. I was like, I could only make videos when I know that they're good, when I know that I should make them, or I can make one every Monday, regardless of the quality. Of course, I do my best that they're good, but they can't always be good. And I went for the consistency route. So some of them are fillers, but can't hit always. But I'm glad they all find the way to you. That's great to hear. In Somalia, right? That's insane. Andrew has a long question or a couple of comments. Hi, Adrian. I am looking into possibly starting a niche translation agency. I speak Arabic and Italian, though I wouldn't be a translator myself. Is it realistic to run a profitable translation agency where I'm assuming it is hard to have translators want to work for a company? I don't get that sentence. If you could clarify, where I'm assuming it is hard to have translators want to work for a company. I'm thinking of focusing on the energy sector and building on connections I have in the Middle East and hiring freelance translators as subcontractors. Wow, very nice. So that would be extremely niche, right? So it would be so what would be, would you focus on any languages, or would it be any language? It would be an agency in the sector in the energy sector. Okay, that could be super cool. I'm a big fan of very specialized niche agencies. A great example is the Action Sports Translators by Martino Russo. It is such a niche agency that focuses solely on very specific action sports brands, and they're doing a fantastic job. So what you are saying sounds great, and you do not need to be a translator for that, definitely not. You just need to make sure that you have a good quality assurance process in place, because you could then, I'm assuming you could not judge the quality of the translation, even though even if it was in Arabic or Italian. But if you're not a trained translator, it's quite risky to then go and sell that product if you are not qualified to judge it, right? So definitely make sure if you start, you put someone in charge of the quality. You could be the managing director, you could do all the operational things, and then you could have someone else doing the quality assurance. Um, Especially in the beginning, if you start working with freelance translators that you don't know yet, you want to definitely have a good test program in place. I'm not a fan of free tests, so make sure to pay your freelancers if you make them have a test. They don't need to be long; they can be half a page. You just need to really choose the right. If you focus on the energy sector, make sure to create a paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs of highly technical, very hard to translate content, that maybe put a few things in there that are very specific to you. So maybe the translator can't even know. So if they translate without asking you, they make an assumption, and it's very bad to make assumptions in technical translations, right? So a common type of mistake that new translators make when they do a test for an agency is they don't ask questions. But often the agency incorporates things that they should ask questions to encourage this kind of collaborative approach. I noticed that in a few tests already, when I was like, oh yeah, of course, I know what you want me to do here. You want me to say, okay, how should I approach this translation problem? Or you can always leave a comment as well. That's also fine. So that's what I would do, definitely, especially if you're not from the translation sector. Make sure that you quality test as much as you can before you start. And then, of course, having connections in the Middle East, that's great, especially if you want to focus on Arabic. So yeah, for sure. Let me know. You haven't commented more. If you can tell me what you mean by, I'm assuming it is hard to have translators want to work for a company. If you mean working through an agency, I don't think that's hard. I think still most translators work with agencies quite often, especially with specialized ones. Mario says, that's awesome, Andrew. Good luck to you. I'm creating a similar model, more like a mini boutique business in the medical interpretation field locally, not multinational, to target medical tourism. That's amazing. I think we talked about this briefly already, right? I think that's the way to go, really. If you are going into the direction of starting an agency, I would definitely go for a highly specialized one. If you think you are niche down even more, right? So it can never be enough, because that's what people trust. People want someone from their field that they understand, that speak the same language, not the actual language, if you know what I mean, but speak the same language within the locale. Mohammed, people can watch bad videos with good audio quality, but no one can watch good videos with bad audio quality. Please always focus on audio quality. I watch your YouTube channel like a podcast. Wow, okay. So you're saying I have good audio quality then? Okay, that's good to know. I mean, this one is different, live stream, right? It goes straight into my webcam audio, so that's probably not the best, but usually I have a microphone, and yeah, I hope the audio is good. Thanks for the tip, though. That's cool. By the way, you can also watch or listen everything on Spotify if that's easier for you, because I know that YouTube, you can't always close on the phone, otherwise it stops. But all the episodes are on Spotify as well, usually on time. Sometimes it takes a week and then they are on it, but I try to put them on. Okay, Andrew is satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much for letting me know. I hope, yeah. And if you want to chat more about that, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn and we can set up a call if you want. No problem. Lizzie from the block is back. Do most of the translators have a master degree? I don't. I'm thinking about studying master after finishing my bachelor degree, but I've heard like people don't value a master degree that much in the industry. I don't know if it's bad advice, but I would not do it. But I mean, that's of course personal experience. But I mean, if someone is ISO certified, they require a degree. It doesn't matter what degree, right? You just need a recognized degree. So a bachelor degree is enough. I think me as a client, I would value experience much more than another degree. So if you already have one, of course, you will learn more in a specialized master's about translation, but Yeah, if you ask me, but that's very personal, subjective opinion. Rather start working than doing a master's degree, or do a master's degree in a field that you then want to specialize in. That's the killer move, right? Because then you are both a translator and a subject matter expert, and you can focus your translation expertise exactly on that field. So if you have something already in mind that you want to specialize in, and there is a master's for that, that doesn't take too long. I wouldn't invest in like a 3-year master or something, but if you can do something in 1-2 years, specialized in what you then want to translate in, then you can already start building your business in that field and tell your customers that you're also doing this further education. So you're only going to get better and better. That's what I would do probably if I were to go back. Okay, let me just check if I missed any comments, but I don't think so. Thanks for participating so much. It's very nice. We're currently 13 people. Great to have you here. And it's already almost half an hour. So I plan to be here maybe like 40, 45 minutes. So until the next question comes in, I'm going to take one from last week's Q&A, or last month's, let's say. Let me just open one. It's coming from Bonk Hazard or Bonk Hazard. I don't know if it's French or English or any language. Question about the last one. Let's see if we find out what he's referring you to. I'm aiming to find articles, documents online to translate from English to Lithuanian and vice versa to assemble my portfolio. Might look into some courses to earn a certificate while I'm at it. Is there anything I should consider when I'm picking what to translate other than specialty? For example, is there a minimum length that said article should meet, or am I thinking too much into this and I ought to just showcase how well I can translate articles of varying complexity? Very nice ending, and your level of English is beautiful. If Lithuanian is your native language, then definitely very well written comment. This makes me want to hire you as a translator. Well done. Length, yeah, don't go too long for a portfolio because people will not read too long. They just want to see if you grasp the general like the gist, the register that you're going for, right? I would probably go for, like, if you have an English Lithuanian portfolio, I would go for, let's say, 4 articles, maybe, all about half a page, maximum 1 page. And then you choose one general one highly specialized one in your field, and then the other 2 that are also specialized, but for different register. Maybe one for more of a layperson and one for a specialized journal for someone that's really in the community and understands all the jargon. So this way you can showcase what you can do generally and what you can do in the specific field for different registers. That's what I would go for. Other than that, don't overthink it. Just make sure you don't copyright anything that is not publicly available. Now I don't have to worry that much about tuition fee, lol. Yes, Lizzie from the blog. That's another thing. Like, depending on, you said you're from Hong Kong, right? I don't know what the prices are there, but like if you're in the UK or the US, don't do a master's degree in translation. That's insane. The amount of money. I shouldn't say this. Do what you want. It's of course worth it if you do it. But for me, it worked out well without. It also depends a bit like what type of person you are, I guess. If you are kind of a creative thinker and someone that's always thinking about, like, has a very business mindset, then it's easier to just go into your own thing, like start, like, learn on the job, right? But if you have more need for a structure, you have more need for, like, actually getting the qualifications in an official academic way, then it can be worth it to do a master's, no question. Hello, this video looks like it's from the mid-2000s. What, this live stream, you mean? Okay, that's not good. I mean, yeah, it's not the best webcam in my integrated laptop, I guess, but usually my videos are pre-recorded with an HD camera, so if you're new here, just check last week's or next week's video and it will be better quality. But now you can interact, so feel free to interact with everyone in here. We are 15 people that are all very like-minded, so make sure you also interact amongst each other. Obviously, you have similar interests, so it's always good to connect. Hello from Guatemala. Where can I start as a freelancer in Latin America? I worked for companies as customer service and interpreter, but I would like to be independent. Okay. Where can I start as a freelancer in Latin America? So the Latin America part I can't help you with because I'm not from there, but where you can start as a freelancer, there is so many videos on my channel, on the Freelanceverse channel, about this topic. So if you click below this, you see the button where you can get to the channel. And the highlighted video there is how to find translation jobs in 2024, which I will probably soon change to 2025 because it will still be relevant in that year. So I would definitely recommend to start somewhere there. There's also a video I made in 2022 where I really outline everything that I would do now if I started tomorrow from scratch, right? So if you want a very long answer, there is like, if you combine the two videos, they're probably like 50 minutes of in-depth explanation of what I would do if I were to establish myself right now. The very brief answer where you can start is create all the profiles you can online about translation, especially on pros.com. You definitely should start there. Then you should connect with peers. You should be on LinkedIn. Connect with people in the same industry, in the same language combinations. You should build a portfolio by doing voluntary translations on your own. You should get preferably a degree or a diploma. You should apply to a lot of agencies, and you should create a connection with potential direct clients. But it's way too long to give you a short answer here, so make sure to check out these videos. I would take that 2000's comments as a compliment. Better times. Same, Mario. I'm getting cozy vibes. Okay. I see what you mean. All right. It's like watching a early 2000s music video, and then you feel all sentimental and you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube playlists and never end. I mean, yeah, why not? Maybe this video leads to a rabbit hole of all my videos. Any advice on whether you will advise me to join the translation union or not? Is there any translation union that you're a member of so far? I'm assuming you mean translators associations, right? They're usually called. I am still not a member. Honestly, I've said this last year, and it's still the case. I still have on my desk the application process for the Swiss Translation Association, and it's been on my desk for so long, but it's not that easy to go through this. I mean, I make excuses. It would be easy. I could have done it easily this year, but it just hasn't happened. I definitely recommend to you, yes, join them. I'm not a good example. I'm not in the Swiss. I'm not in the Belgian. I'm not in anyone. But it gives you a lot of credibility. You show up on search engines much more if your name is in a database like this, if you are in an official national translation register. Usually the membership fees can be quite steep, so which I'm not that much of a fan, but if they provide like very good events, usually they hold events, conferences, membership, like where you can mingle and meet other members, then it's worth it, then it's worth to pay. And sometimes if you're still a student, they also have memberships for students that are much cheaper, and then you can kind of graduate into the agency, into the association. A lot of clients also go through the association to find the necessary translators. So I highly recommend doing it. And I think Mario also would highly recommend doing it. And also contact the Guatemalan Association. I've worked with them. They are great people. Oh, okay, nice. Now, this was not about, okay, I mean, it's an answer for both of you, right? For the association and for the previous comment about Guatemala. Yeah, it can help a lot. So definitely go for that. Well, I think I missed so many comments. Hold on. Oh no, okay. I'm quite caught up. Yeah. All right, all good. Yeah, Mario is connecting in the chat, which I love. This is great. Mido Makti. Hello, how can I improve myself as an English and Italian to Arabic freelance translator? And what is the best AI tools that I should learn to enhance my productivity? That is honestly a topic that I'm currently investigating. I also want to use more AI tools to increase my productivity, and I'm not doing enough in that regard. And I'm planning a video for January, so hopefully I can give you a better, like a more nuanced answer by then. I'm currently investigating and experimenting with a few tools, but I don't want to give at this moment. I don't want to endorse any tool yet because I'm still quite unsure of the usefulness and which ones I want to endorse, which ones are actually beneficial in the translation process and not only hyped up, right? So at the moment, I can't give you an answer on the AI tool. It's coming next year, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and it will come into your sub box maybe late January or something, and hopefully with some more foundational, like practical evidence. But it's such a huge field at the moment, and I feel like something is popping up every week, and I don't want to just say something now and then find out that they are some kind of data thieves or something. So yeah, I ask for a bit of patience in that regard. How you can improve? Practice makes perfect, right? That's the only way you can improve. You can read a lot in Arabic. You can write a lot in Arabic in different registers. Try to write stories for yourself. Write for one day, write for a 10-year-old. Next day, write for a 50-year-old. See what the differences are. See if you have a specialty, if a specialization. If you do, learn everything about it, right? Go to conferences, attend online events in that specialization. Yeah, learning is all you can do. It's the one thing that sets you apart from the competition, right? Because you have to remember that most people are not continuous learners, right? Most people are happy with what they have. If they make a living with translation, it's like most people, of course, not the ones that I interact with, not you guys that are here, but most people are not really investing in their professional and personal development, right? So if you do, it just sets you apart 1% each time, every time. So it's never a bad idea. And yes, the video about AI tools, it will follow when the time is right, but it needs to be researched. Laura is saying +1 on joining associations. Plus, you can maybe deduct the annual fee. Oh, good point. Yes, definitely tax deductible because it's fully a professional expense. So definitely, yeah, you're right. I sometimes forget, and then I get reminded every quarter when I have to do my quarterly tax reports that I go through my bank account and I see what I've paid, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually professional. I can deduct that. Difficult name, Asri MTRDZ. Hi Adrian, what areas of translation do you enjoy the most? Are there any specific industries or subjects you prefer to work with? At the moment, I really enjoy subtitling. I have some very exciting clients that I work with that are super lovely. They give me so much time. The conditions are amazing. The topic is amazing. I feel like it's a university lecture every time I'm doing the subtitling. So I also get to learn a lot in the process. That makes me very happy, but that is something very current. I started working with them quite recently, and they seem to trust me a lot, so they give me more and more work, which is great. I love it. Other than that, I enjoy most. I mean, I work mostly in the sports industry, and what I probably enjoy most is very current events like news, things that actualities that happen right now, right? For example, for big sports events, I'm often the one that is responsible for translating or proofreading or even copywriting what goes out to like push notifications of phones. So that's very high visibility, high pressure, but still very rewarding, and exactly what I would do anyways in my free time, right? I would anyways follow these sporting events. So it's a great way to combine pleasure and profession. So these are probably the things I enjoy most, but of course it's not the everyday, right? The everyday translations are mostly like a big part is product descriptions, so that's not that exciting, but it's still fun and you can still play a bit. And then there is a lot of seasonal campaigns in sports, marketing campaigns, and there you can really showcase what you have in store in terms of linguistic variability. I love coming up with word plays, coming up with nice taglines that are like gripping the attention of people. I like playing with the intricacies between German, Austrian, and Swiss audience. But if the client gives me time to come up with taglines for each country, that's amazing because you can play with local intricacies and stuff. Yeah, these are super nice. All right, it's already 41, so I will do a couple more comments and maybe one more question, and then I have to end this because otherwise no one will watch the video when it's done. Mario, currently I don't have a CAT tool license and I've been doing new agency translation tests to hope to get new work. Nice. So I've been using SmartCat and other free online software. Does this cause a negative view on my interview process? Also, they ask what CAT tools I use, so they know I'm not using like Trados, for example. It might hinder your chances to get hired in some cases if they really require Trados. But if it's an agency, you should also consider that you don't necessarily need the tool to work with an agency, right? You can have the tool but not a license. So if they have a project for you to work on, they can grant you a project license that is just for that, right? So they because they have licenses, they have multiple licenses if they are a serious agency. And that's what often happens. When I used to work in an agency, we worked with plenty of freelancers that didn't have Trados or RemoQ, but we just granted them a project license that is directly sent out with the package. So if we send out the package to the translator, there's a license included just for this project. They check it out, they work on it, they send the package back, and the license is gone. So I don't know if you could sometimes bring that up as well. Another thing you can do if it's a one-off that you really want to explore and potentially like could lead to a big collaboration, you can say you have Trados and you have MemoQ, and then you can work with the free trials, right? You have 30-day trials. If it's just about the test and potential for a lot of jobs, just use the trial and you can use multiple emails. And I mean, that's not a secret that you can definitely do that. But yeah, I would probably not just say, no, I don't have Trados, no, I don't work with Trados. I would find a way to phrase it a bit differently, that there is still potential later on to work with them. Also, I would, if you have to choose, I would go for MemoQ. That's not because they work with me on the channel. That's generally because I prefer it. I really like your quick and simple way in explaining. Many thanks to you. Oh, thank you so much, Mito. There is a free version of WordFast. You can use it for your tests. Exactly. WordFast is nice as well. And SmartCat is perfectly fine as well. I don't think just because you work with SmartCat, that's something negative. Not at all. I really like it. I work with it as well sometimes. I try it. Yeah, definitely do. All right, I think I got all the questions and it's 45 minutes, so that's it for today. Currently 17 people. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in for a minute or for the whole 45 minutes. I really appreciate it. All the hearts are coming in. Thank you so much. As I said, next week, the last normal video of the Freelanceverse this year, it's going to be my top 5, let's say. I'm not decided if it's 5 or 6, maybe 5 with a bonus. My 5 passive income streams that I set up for myself over the years. and they will not be like the typical crappy, affiliate marketing scammy types. So I really want to make it practical and things that you can actually do as a normal person with normal feelings, without scamming everyone, which seems to be quite rare now these days, which is weird. But yeah, so stay tuned for that next Monday, 6 p.m. And then just before Christmas, I'm going to upload my year in review. How did you influence by AI translation? Thank you, and early Merry Christmas. Phoebe, no time anymore, but I will address this in a big video in January. Stay tuned. I need to do some more research on that, but it's coming in the new year. Thanks for being here, and I see you next Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.